This is Russell Smith in Los Angeles, February 2015, approaching wind-up sculpture number 13. If there was ever a brute of a wind-up phonograph motor, this is it. This is a motor called the Sphinx. It's the only one I've seen. Kind of interesting enameled, black enameled steel. Three big springs. Everything's overbuilt. Really a pretty serious chunk of Victorian technology. There's this little logo. Anyhow, this is probably one of the most elaborate mechanically the things I've done. And actually it was quite difficult. It took a lot of tinkering, a lot of revision. Essentially what we have is the gears on the left and right, as you're going to see when I fire it up, they rotate, lifting a center shaft, lifting it and dropping it. So here we go. So the piece is now being held in position by the left-hand gear, hits the bottom, it's picked up by the right-hand gear, up, 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 and right here is the handoff, and there's a moment where it drops, and in that space it's picked up by the left hand. The mechanism, I have to admit to a little plagiarism here. The mechanism I found in a book written in the 19th century, a collection of 507 mechanical devices, which those of you in the kinetic business are probably familiar with. And all I can say is the drawings are a lot simpler than they are to make. There's a lot the drawings don't say, and it took quite a while to actually get this turkey to work. My initial plan was to, I'm going to speed it up here a little bit. The initial plan was to have this shaft, this centerpiece going up and down, and maybe do some work like lift up a marble, take the marble up to the top, drop the marble, have the marble go back down. But it turned out that by the time it was turning all these gears, the motor didn't have enough poop to lift weight as well. So midway through I had to change my mind as to what to do, and I decided that maybe while I couldn't have the centerpiece lift anything, I could have the centerpiece drop into something. So I decided to see if I could kind of turn the machine into a, let's call it a, well, I try to be discreet here. Think of all the aluminum parts as the male parts of the machine, and all of the blackened parts being the female parts of the machine. And so we have the male part of the machine dropping into the female part of the machine. Now, some of you may see some phallic implications in this, but I'm not responsible for anything. It's all coming to me from somewhere else. So anyway, yeah, I guess if I were going to give the piece a title, I'd probably call it the Penetrator. I like to slow it way down, and right to there. This is where the whole action of this machine takes place, right there. So we'll slow it down, slow it down. There we go. Okay, I'm going to waltz around. Backside's pretty interesting. I realize I have trouble with this camera because as I move the camera around, then my voice goes out, in and out. So over the years, maybe I'll develop some documentary skills. Fortunately, I think my mechanical sculpture skills are superior to my video making skills. But that, I guess, will be forgiven. So anyway, here's the back side. In order to get this thing to lift all the weight, it was necessary to gear it down quite a bit. So you can see that the drive spindle down here is spinning pretty fast compared to what we've got up at the top. So anyway, that's that. Wind up number 13.